coming to you with a brand new video. And as you can see in my title tonight, where it's talking about overcoming your anger and overcome anger, overcome resentment. And this is something which is like personal to me because this was a struggle for me at one point. It wasn't always like that, but it became like that after a while. But don't forget, folks, while you are here, like, subscribe, comment down below. Like and subscribe and comment down below. It really helps the video to get out into the YouTube universe. So, overcoming anger, overcome resentment. When this thing started, like got like really bad, I didn't really understand what was going on at the time, but I knew I need to do something. I did not know what to do at all, really, because the people who I was around at the time, they didn't really understand me, and they could not know what I was going through or what I have to fix or how could I even make my life better. These guys didn't know at all. So, no ill will towards them. But later on, I remember when something happened there and I knew that kind of sent things spiral downhill. And you know, I felt disrespected by a certain event that happens, and I took it personal, way too personal. I wasn't thinking about how could I put myself in a better situation, a better position. I wasn't even thinking of that. And that's what I should have done, is to find another job, move to another location, get into the gym, start working on myself, start to study personal development. None of that stuff was going through my mind at the time. So I took it way personal, and I was just angry and bitter. Have a lot of resentment at the time because they told me that at the place I was working, that the person who is there first always get a promotion. I didn't. They gave the promotion to somebody else, and I thought that was just disrespectful. Meanwhile, looking back at it, it was actually a good thing for me. I couldn't understand how to navigate, or how to use adversity to work in my favor. How could I make adversity work for me? It did work for me, but it took a long time for me to understand how what was really going on. So I became very bitter, very angry, and I said stuff which I shouldn't have said, and it was just a bunch of uh, Luca, what's up? Right on, Jackson. And so I, hey Christy. So after a while, I begin to see that this is not going to work out. I was too angry. I was too bitter, and I left to go find a new job. I found a job, and then one night I decided that this job here, I'm not gonna show up to it. And the guy said, "You are fired." That was fine because I was already working at somewhere else already. So that was okay. But to see how long it took me to figure out what was, that I should actually move in a different path, go on a new journey, something more exciting, something more fun. I wish I would have understood it then, because I would have way more fun with it, I think. But I didn't. It took me some years after, making same mistakes over, repeating the same mistakes, and I was just not happy at all. I was just angry and miserable the whole time. And I'm trying to change. Got myself into a relationship which I shouldn't have done. That also helped to start to let me know that, look, you are not on the right path here, you're not on the right track, so this needs to stop. I got out of that relationship and decided to pursue knowing who I was for the first time in my life. And I'm trying to figure out, who the hell am I? Pack up my stuff, head to another city. Um, didn't even have a place to stay, but I did what I have to do at the time. And after a while, I found a place, and then things seems to be moving okay for a while. But I still was not happy at all. I was just feeling that, I felt like there is more to this than what I'm, than what my eyes can see. And I'm still trying to figure out, what the heck should I do here. And I heard about this thing called personal development, and they're saying, you can build yourself up, develop yourself, and then you can start earning more money. And of course, the money thing caught my eye, or caught my ears, whatever. And I said, okay, I'm gonna start to go hunt, see if I can get this money in, start a couple of businesses. They all failed. Um, yeah, yeah. So you're funny. That's what people keep on saying that. Call me Little Woody. People keep on saying that. And so those businesses failed, and I can see the reason why they fail now. Till till this day, everything begins to become clear to me. After a while, I saw how everything just fell apart. Nothing that I thought was gonna work out the way how everything that I thought was gonna work out, none of it worked out the way that way. And then moved to a new city, and then change a couple of locations, and then things begin to change. And for the first time, I realized that what I really wanted was peace. Not that I know how to even accomplish it, but looking back, I could put the pieces together, that connect the dots together. And I realized that I can be peaceful. And I became peaceful, really peaceful, for the first time in my life, by doing the work daily. I work out every single day. I run every single day. I at least try to read or listen to some type of audios or a podcast or something like that every single day. And then I begin to start to get into my mind and look for where the troubles were coming from. And I begin to shut them off and choke them off, because I did not want to allow any more problems into my life. That was it. I'm like, I am done inviting trouble into my life. No more. I want no more headache, no more heartache. I'm not going to create any more trouble for myself. And that's exactly what I did over the past year and 6 months. And so I worked really hard towards it, not fully understanding what I was doing. But after a while, I began to start feeling a lot better about myself. And I just start becoming a better person. So put in the work, and then I notice the anger reduces. It goes down. I wasn't that angry as how I was, like, a couple of years before that. And I begin to think about that. I'm like, for the first time in my life, I find myself being happy for the first time in my life. And I thought about it. What's really going on here? What changes? What transpires? What happens? What occurs? So I noticed some things I was doing, because, like I said, I was not going to allow any more headache, any more problems, any more heartache. I did not want to feel any more pain from, I told myself from now on moving forward, it is going to be peaceful. I am going to live a peaceful lifestyle. And I begin to pursue that. So, especially more more recently here, when I started to do the mental practices, the mental workout as well, because you have to put in those reps, and you're gonna have to read the same thing over and over and over and over. You're gonna have to do that, and that's just how it's going to be. Uh, I believe so, Monster Mouse. Yeah, all right, and I begin to notice the more I do this work, the better I feel, and the more calmer I become, the more calm I become. And also, the desire to argue with other people begin to reduce, die out, diminish. I just don't have the desire to argue with anybody. I don't want to develop that habit. I don't believe that I have to argue with people anymore. I no longer hold a belief. You want to argue, you can go do so by yourself. I'm not gonna even entertain you. You know what I mean? Thank you very much, Monster Mouse. Appreciate you. All right. So I begin to start to work, and I have the I had I have this discussion here with my friend here recently, and I told him, and so he was like, "What if this person said something mean to you or something like that?" And I say, "You know what? I don't believe I need to lower myself, bring myself down to this person's level. I don't want to. I don't have to. I don't believe that I need to tell you a piece of my mind and tell you how I feel, because I think anger is a real problem in our society. It's causing so much problems because when you are angry, you can't think straight. You can't think correctly. It's like it blinds you, and that's why during that time you can do some unimaginable things because you're angry. When that anger passes and you are now in a calm state and you look and you're like, what the heck? What do I do now? Because this is serious trouble. I'm in some serious trouble. So I don't believe that I need to be angry. I just don't. And I no longer hold the belief that I must be angry. So thanks, Christy. And this is what I think a lot of you probably need help with. You're going to have to learn how to work through it. I've seen some people who are peaceful. Uh, I know, right? Yes, a cool picture. This goat right here. Yeah, it's a cool picture. Yeah. So that's something which I think a lot of people need to like take a look at. Too much anger. There there is going to be a time and a period there, a time period there where you are going to be in that state, and you're going to have to feel your feelings, and that's okay. I understand that. But the quicker you can get out of that state, please do so. Out of it and straighten up and get your life on track. Now, I cannot be like these other guys that I see. They are peaceful. I look at them, they're not causing any problem. These guys have their dogs and they're walking their dogs and everything is fine. I do not want to um I do not want to relax and be peaceful like the way how these guys are. No. I need to do some things. I need to do some stuff. Maybe you're one of those guys who can sit down on your couch and meditate. I am kind of not like that. I'm an action person. I need to get up and go do something. I know what brings me peace. I know what makes me peaceful, and these are the things that I do. I do things that brings me peace. Sitting down on your couch, that might be a good thing. Watching your TV, drinking your beer, you are not hurting anyone. No. But and maybe you could get you get a little company, a little partner, somebody to come hang out on your couch with you. I am not like that. I cannot sit down on my couch, watch TV all day. It's just something which I'm not going to do. I want to get up, go outside, and do something and do some stuff, especially go into the gym. And also put on my running shoes, hit the pavement, do some running. Uh, I saw that show, Stranger Things. I mean, haven't seen it, but I see the title of it popped up on Netflix, and I thought about watching it. So now you suggested I might have to go check it out. Joshua, I how are you, man? Long time don't see you. My day is actually terrific. It's a fantastic day. I can't complain. Life is great. I have no issues with um with my life. And thank you very much for asking. Hope all is well with you as well. Yeah, I saw that and I thought about it and I said well, something told me to watch it, but I did not. I watched some other stuff instead. I was watching Shameless earlier because I like that guy, Frank Gallagher. So I was watching Shameless because I think it was it kind of makes me it makes me laugh, how that guy lives, how he lives his life. Yeah. So no, we are trying to go from this angry state to a state of peace and calm. That is where the magic is. Yeah, I probably need to watch that, Christy. So we are going from a state of anger and chaos and misery to a place of peace and calm. That's where we are. That's where we are going. And the work to get there, we're gonna have to do it. You know what I mean? So right now, if life is kicking your behind, you cannot find peace, and you are just miserable. Start taking a look at where the trouble is coming from. How are you inviting this trouble in your life? How do you invite these people in your life to cause you trouble? Because you are responsible for attracting these people. You are. When you get better, you notice you stop attracting trouble. It was some years ago when I heard Bob Proctor said, once you get on this journey here and you start working on yourself, the trouble becomes smaller. Same here. I have less and less and less and less trouble these days. I don't even have trouble that much. I don't have a whole bunch of people who I have to deal with on a daily basis. People at my job, they respect me and I respect them. I don't need to tell them a piece of my mind and tell them how I feel about them. That doesn't have to happen because I eliminate those problems before they even come up. And that's what I told my friend the other day. I said, debating is something that I actually like. I really like debating. But more and more, I'm beginning to think about it. I am thinking about it now more and more. Why should I disagree with this person? I don't need to disagree with anybody. You believe what you believe, and guess what happened? You are right if you believe that. Now, if you are on a higher level, higher plane, and you come to me and you said, "Hey, Ryan, I think you're a little smart guy. You're a little bit enlightened. Could you challenge me with these questions that I have, so that way I could get a different perspective, a better perspective?" Sure, that's different. Now, you give me permission to challenge you. You did not give me any permission to challenge you. I am not here to tell you that you are wrong. You are not hurting anybody. Physically or in any way, shape, or form. You are perfectly fine to hold on to your belief system. When you are ready to change that belief system, you can go ahead and do so. I am not here to help you, to change you, to make you become better. I am not here to do that. The people who want to become better, they will eventually look at what I'm doing and know full well that I can help them, and then they will come to me. I'm not trying to help you. Not my job, or so not it's just not my job to go around and to school anybody and to put them in their place and to teach them a lesson. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, so Rayan, you are running away from an argument, a debate? No, I'm not running away from anything. I just don't want to engage into that, you know into those low IQ conversations. I mean, Dream, what's up, man? The Dream, what's going on with you, man? You come back up with that Mustang stuff again, right? So I am not trying to do that. I have no intention of doing any of that. That's just how it is going to go. So right now, these are some things that you can implement into your life. Don't argue, cut out the argument. Thank you very much, the Dream. Appreciate you. Take care. Have a good night. So these are some things that you can start implement into your life. Stop arguing. Cut out the arguing. You don't need to be right. You don't have to be right. Yeah. Hey, XX Moon, what's up with you, mate? So you don't need to argue with anybody. I believe it's a big waste of time. It's a headache, by the way. It's unproductive. It's low IQ behavior. And it's also low IQ conversation. So only if people ask me to challenge them on a topic because they need a better perspective, then I will do so. But if you didn't ask me to challenge you, I'm not going to. So whatever you think there, you are actually right. And that's just how it is going to go down with me these days. Uh, Thank you very much, Moon. Appreciate it, XX Moon. Right? And that's where I am right now in my life. I am living a peaceful life. My life is peaceful. I am not miserable. I don't have a whole bunch of hatred and resentment and bitterness, full of trauma. I don't have that stuff going on in me right now. That stuff is washing away day by day, more and more so. The more I do the work, the better I get. Not my job to, I have to fight back and stand up and defend myself. I don't need to defend myself. I just need to walk away. I want to make life easy for myself and for other people as well. And this is just how it is going to go down now. So, anger, resentment, hatred, bitterness, all that stuff. We're going to have to learn how to release it and let it go through a period of work. There's a time there when you're going to have to work. You might not even see any results, but you need to keep on doing the work. And there are certain measures you can take in order for you to create some type of peace, because that's one thing. You want to get to peace as fast as you possibly can. The quickest way I see how to do that: pack up your stuff, move to a new city. And you need to be by yourself, by the way. Don't live around anybody. Don't live with anybody, because this can cause a lot of problems, because you are not in the right mindset yet to function around other people. Because you need to heal yourself first. You need to go through that process, the healing process that needs to be done. Be by yourself. Take that time out to heal yourself. This is on you. This is your job. To heal yourself is your job. You know what I mean? So, changing your life. It is long life. It's a long life work. Becoming a better person. The self-improvement, the self-development. All that. Lifelong work. It's not overnight and it's not easy. You will get the money later on. I think one of the first things you should focus on is create some type of happiness and stability in your life. You do not need a lot. You do not need a lot of money to be happy. Don't get me wrong. You need to get that bag. A lot of it. You need to get that money. So I'm not discouraging anybody from getting money. That's not what's going on here. But you need to become happy first, in my opinion. That's what I believe. Free up your brain space so that you can use that brain space to think about the things that you need to do. You're gonna have to do to get to where to get the money. You're gonna have to do, but also you need to attract as well. Doing plus attracting, both. You need both. Have you ever seen some people who work really hard and there's nothing, they don't have nothing to show from all that hard work, because they are not attracting. They don't know how to get into the attraction part. They don't know how to do the attraction part, and that's sad. That's a tragedy. A lot of people work hard, but when you look at me like, why did you work so? What I mean, all these years you've been working hard. Why you work so hard? Hi, Ruthless Ruth. How are you? Good to see you. Why did you work so hard? I mean, we have to start ask these people these questions. Why did you work that hard? But still, yet you have nothing to show for all these years, these hard work that you have done. The attraction part was the problem. You know. You are welcome, Ruthless Road. Hope all is well with you and your loved ones down there in Florida, in the South. So working hard alone will not help you. Attracting plus working will help you. Stop freaking out. Reduce the freaking out. Like, so many people I see, it's a anxiety. They can't they can't go through life relaxed and peaceful. You're supposed to go through life quiet, relaxed, calm, and peaceful. When the time for you to move into that state, get into that state of moving quickly, and because you're gonna have to move fast sometimes. At some point, maybe there is a mountain lion coming at you, then sure, you're gonna have to react to it quickly, and whoop that goddamn mountain lion's ass. You know what I mean? But for the most part, most of you gonna never have to deal with any type of situation where you're in panic mode. Most people never gonna have to go through that. A very tiny bit of people Very few are gonna have to deal with situations like those. But for the most part, no, you're gonna be perfectly fine. Majority of you. Yeah. So get into a state of peace, calm, relax, and quietness. That's how we should go through life. We should not go through life in a freak out mood where we are worried and anxiety and all of this stuff coming at us. Like, why would you want to live like that? I found it amazing. And I hear people, even people with who has money, they have millions of dollars and they are still freaking out. And be like, why? I do not want to be in a state in that state. I'm gonna earn the money and I'm gonna be relaxed and peaceful and quiet and calm with the money. No freaking out. I am not doing that. Not my, you know. I just don't want to live life like that anymore. I've been there before. Where my heart rate is speeding up, pounding. My heart is no, not a good state to be in. Relax and let life flow. You will get to where you want to get to at the right time. You you can force it, you can rush it. I don't recommend that. I am not here to force anything. I am here to flow with life. So when I look at the things that's difficult, I stay away from difficulties. Doesn't mean I won't do hard things. That's not what I'm saying. But when I see something that is difficult or somebody who is difficult, I'm just not going to do it. If I'm doing things and it's difficult, I relax. I step away for a little while and look, how can I do this thing here easier? How can I make life easier for me? You know, I used to wake myself up to get up and go read early in the morning, which was good. Now I don't wake myself. No, I don't wake myself up. Myself wake me up at a certain time, around 4:30. So now I wake up on my own because me waking myself up with the alarm, I thought it was just giving me a headache. So now myself wake me up at a certain time, different because I have downloaded that program to work for me in that way. You know, but I'm going to leave it there, folks. This tonight was a good session. Get rid of the anger, get rid of resentment, get rid of those things. Live in a state of peace and calm. Change your life. All right, Ryan here with a new video. Looking forward to see you soon. A brand new video. Have a good night. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.